ready to kick it, ready to chat it out because we got something here that is actually interesting for us to discuss. Don't think I really know your thoughts around today's topics
No?
and kind of what you would choose. I feel like I do know,
Mm,
but we'll see what you say.
gotcha. All right. Well, I am excited to talk about it because I don't think it's something that we have generally discussed before,
Hmm.
whether on air or personally or whatever the case might be.
Right.
And this is, you already have like obviously an idea of like what we're talking about, but we didn't like go into like full detail or anything. So this is going to be a
Hmm.
true, like raw conversation. And I'm definitely curious. So,
Hmm.
we're just gonna jump right in there. I sent you a
Okay.
video earlier today about a mom teaching her kid a lesson about being in a relationship, and I thought it was really
Mm.
interesting because I do think that if you have children and they're in a relationship and like you're in the same house or vicinity or whatever, and you notice that your kid is like doing something a little like off, you should definitely pull them aside and have a conversation with them and say like this is not how you should treat your girlfriend or your
Your
boyfriend
significant
or
other.
whatever.
Right.
So I
Hmm.
thought that it was pretty cool that she actually did that, and again, like I'm sure this is like one of those things that are like staged or something.
Super scripted, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
But nonetheless, I think it is a good point and a good conversation and stuff. So pretty much this was a scene where a mom was cooking in a kitchen trying to teach her son's girlfriend how to cook. Um,
Hmm.
and in like the middle of them like cooking or whatever, the son comes in and asks his girlfriend to make him a plate. And like at first it was like okay, like the way he was talking, but then like I don't know, his tone like changed and he was just kind of like,
Hmm.
well, like stop what you're doing and like make me a plate. And
Right.
she just kind of like looks up at him and like, like I'm trying to learn from your mom like how to cook like this dish or whatever. So first of all, like what plate is she making if she's cooking dinner? But
But fool, I'm busy and you see me in the middle of cooking dinner. So
right. So like I'm super glad that his mom like took him to the side and was like, don't talk to your girl like that. Well, like what's wrong with you? So like that was like a
right.
whole nother thing in itself of just kind of like how you talk to your significant other and what you should and shouldn't do. But the
Hmm.
takeaway that I got and I thought is a very interesting conversation, and I've seen different like debates about this topic. So
Okay.
I'm gonna start first with when it comes to making a plate for your significant other, like say you're,
Hmm.
I don't know, just in the house or like at a barbecue or whatever the
Okay.
case might be. First question is, do you make that other person a plate? Or they're grown, like, should they make their own plate?
Well, so in my old life,
Oh.
I would, depending on the scenario, make your own plate. Like just make your own plate because it depends on how familiar you are in the setting and who you're with.
That's true too.
Um, I feel like sometimes that's a factor, but I've actually come to feel more strongly about making my man's plate
Mhm.
and just looking like a great representation of how much I just love and adore my man. So let me go ahead and just make him a little plate here. So, and especially if we're with my side of the family,
Yeah.
because it's not his people. Like they're his people now,
Right, right.
but it's not his people. So, he's just mixing and mingling. So it's just, kind of one thing that I can do. And usually the women are closer to the food and in the kitchen area more so than the men.
Mhm.
So, you usually don't want to have a man in the kitchen with the women. You want that man to go be with the other men or doing their own thing because, us women, we be chatting and gossiping. So I would say for me, it's making the plate for him, um, most likely regardless of the setting, really.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And because like the roles are reversed, right? Like if you're at like a cookout for like his family or whatever, like generally speaking, he would be the one to kind of like make the plate, or at least that's
Hmm.
like what I've been used to, just because like you don't really like know people and just kind of like let
So
let the
awkward.
person who
Yeah.
knows the people like, do the things, right?
Do the things. Facts.
So environment is definitely important, but I do agree with you as far as like, making the plate. Like, yeah, like we're all
Hmm.
adults here, but it's just kind of like that. Um,
It's a kind gesture.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
definitely.
it's just. a token of love and just showing a way that you appreciate and care for someone. I don't think it's anything that's crazy that needs to stand for more than that. I think it's just as simple as that kind of thing.
Hmm.
But it was just interesting watching that video because, scripted or not, I felt like it was really important for people to see, because the fact of the mom spending time with the girlfriend,
Yeah.
to me, it was the parents having a relationship with the significant other
Hmm.
is what I found to be important. And then also, like, just like creating memories and then being able to teach her a family recipe, like
Yeah.
allowing her to really become a part of the family. I found that to be like important. And they mentioned something about it at the end of the video as well. Where it's just like, you got to give young people a chance. Like, just because they may be young and living on their own doesn't mean that they're grown or that they really know what they're doing. So
Exactly.
I found that to be a really good point, because literally all of us as people are learning every single day in our lives
Hmm.
and
Facts.
hopefully growing.
Definitely facts. um,
Yes.
Now, do you think it's a difference, or do you think that it makes a difference being a girlfriend versus a wife? Do your roles change? Should you not make that plate until you have that little ring on your finger? Or
No, no, I don't think so. And I honestly found that part of the video to be kind of stupid. And I say that because, how do you know how someone's going to treat you as a wife if they don't put it into practice beforehand?
that is very true.
Like, I want you to show me how you're going to be as my husband now,
Hmm.
rather than see you as my boyfriend and just hope I'm going to get what I desire out of you as a husband. Hell no. Like, we're going to test these fucking waters before we go ahead and dive on in it. No, I found that to be the absolute dumbest part of that entire video, because, oh, she's not a wife. She doesn't need to. She never gonna make it to a wife if I don't know if she know how to serve me a plate, or if I don't know if she knows how to love me and care for me as a wife would.
Right.
And again, that's something that you learn and develop as you go in a marriage, but you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, no, you definitely do. And because, yes, like being a wife is like, a different thing, I
It's a
guess you
different
can say.
status.
But at the end of the day, like it really is just a piece of paper and like
Hmm.
jewelry. So it's like just getting those things one day isn't automatically going to change that person that you're with and how like they act and
Right.
behave and stuff like that. So, I totally agree with you that, you should do those
Yeah.
things while you're growing in your relationship, because then they're going to see how you are, and that's what's actually going to make them want to make you a wife or a husband or whatever.
Right. I like, that was just so disappointing to see in the video, because it's like, you guys are doing such a good job at conveying a really great message here,
Hmm.
but goddamn, you just killed it with that one part. I do apologize if y'all hear the loudness in the background, but
Don't.
it's good. Okay. But it's just like, how do you have such a good message overall and then just kill it with, well, she's not a wife, so she doesn't have to serve you? Now all these chicks out here are gonna think that they don't gotta serve no plate to the man, which no
Hmm.
one has to serve anyone anything, right? Like, you're not obligated to do
You should.
anything, but damn, you making all these men lose these kind gestures because
Yeah.
their girlfriends aren't their wives.
Right, right.
Okay, not cool.
Yeah. No. So I definitely think it's an interesting kind of like conversation, and I can definitely see where people would debate it because, who
Hmm.
doesn't debate things like, I'm an
It's today's
independent
times.
woman, like why am I going to make my man like
Rah, rah,
don't get me
rah.
started. um
Girl.
but it sounds like we're both pretty much like in agreements when it comes to that. But
Hmm.
then one of the other bigger things that I kind of hear, and this was not in this video that that me and Amanda are talking about, but something else
Hmm.
I've just kind of heard about this like same topic is, okay, not just husband and wife or partners, whatever. Now you're going to throw kids into the mix, so it's not a matter of
Mm.
like should you make them a plate because like hello,
Mhm.
you're their parent, like they can't make it for themselves. So
Right, like,
yes, you should
common
make it for
sense.
them, but what is the appropriate order of operations in which you should be making plates for your spouse and your children?
I'm gonna need you to answer that first. Thank you.
You need me to answer that one first.
Yes, go ahead.
So the way that I think, and so I've heard different things and different viewpoints, but for me personally, and how it kind of works in my house, is I
Hmm.
will feed the kids first, and then I'll feed my
Hmm.
spouse, and then I feed myself.
Hmm.
So I don't
You make
know.
me absolutely sick.
I make you sick. Oh, because we're the same
You
person.
were the same person. You make me so sick because that is literally the same thing I do. And he always says, like, I should be fed first. I'm the man. And it's like, I
He
get
says that.
it, but yes. And it's like, I get it, but I need her to be settled.
Right.
So then it's literally keeping the kid busy
Hmm.
so that way anything and everything else can be tended to and they're quiet. And then also when they're done, they can go and play. They're still like, you know what I mean? Like, and then that you might have an opportunity to still eat in peace for a moment.
Hmm.
So for me, it's get the most annoying one done first. And
Then the
then,
second
you
annoying.
know, exactly. But it's a little bit different because then that's like typical order of operation, I feel like, for
Mhm.
around the house. We honestly spend a little bit too much time standing and eating. Like we don't actually
Oh,
sit
really?
and eat. Yeah,
Hmm.
like the baby will sit and eat, but us as the adults, like, because we're kind of just like in go mode, so we kind of
Mm.
just like stand and talk and eat. Like it's really like we're at a bar or something. It's so weird.
Interesting.
But like if we're out
Hmm.
somewhere, like like Thanksgiving or whatever the case may be, like a holiday and it's a family gathering,
Yeah,
then I don't necessarily focus on feeding her first and he can get fed first because then there are other people to preoccupy her. So then that way it's
true.
not, it's not the same setup. But
Yeah.
I just I was like, I had a feeling you were going to say the
Mhm.
opposite. I thought you were going to say that you feed him first because just your order of operation for everything else and just how, I guess, traditional you are and how you do things sometimes.
Mhm.
So I really thought that he was going to be number one. And then a part of me had a little doubt, but not enough to realize that that's what you were going to say.
Well, sometimes I do think about it just because by the time I get his plate and him fed, she's already finished. So it's
Hmm.
like then she's like bothering us to like play and like do whatever, and it's
Hmm.
kind of like we still need to eat, and like I haven't even
Right.
like made my plate yet.
Touched
So it's like
anything.
yeah. So it's like
Exactly.
I've been thinking about maybe changing the order, but
Hmm.
I don't know. I just feel like naturally it just feels right to feed the kid first and then,
Hmm.
you know, everything
Right.
else after.
Right. Because worst case, he can get his food.
Right, exactly.
Like, like
Yeah.
absolute worst case, like if he's that impatient, then he can just go ahead and handle that. But no, I agree with you. I want to try to change it up, but it's just too easy to stay with the same system
Yeah,
and how we've been doing things. So,
definitely. And I don't know how it works over there with y'all, but whenever I am cooking something, like I know that like most likely like me and the kids are hungry, but like
hmm.
he might also be hungry, but like he's doing whatever else, so he might not eat right
Hmm.
away either. So it's like I'm not gonna make your plate first when I know that you're not
You're not even really.
gonna eat it like
Nope.
right now.
Opposite
So
here. Opposite here.
mm,
I cannot cook fast enough. I cannot cook enough. Yeah,
definitely not
no,
the enough
it's,
thing because oh god,
yeah.
I just feel like I can't.
Yeah, no, it's,
Mm,
that's not a thing here. Honestly, like it's usually the two of them eat,
mm,
and I'll wait until after she goes to bed to eat most of the time because then I have
you can
minimal
relax and
distraction.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because I'm like probably so unhealthy, and I'm just gonna share one of my unhealthy traits.
Oh,
I like to sit and eat and watch something on TV and
kinda
just like
unhealthy.
not because it's like I don't know. I feel like you don't really need to sit and eat dinner in front of the TV, but like that's literally like my decompression time is
Mm.
like, okay, I'll just eat by myself and watch whatever.
Crazy. We definitely sit to eat and watch things here, but
Yeah,
um,
you just got to
yeah.
sometimes.
No, I don't think that's unhealthy at all, personally.
Okay, cool. I take that back. That was not an unhealthy trait of mine.
I thought you were gonna say like she likes to have some crazy like unhealthy snacks and shit, but here she is like,
Oh
I just don't like
no.
to sit and eat. It's like y'all in this standing
No.
business. I don't know. That's just weird to me.
No. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. because we just like you get caught up in the moment. We're in like the kitchen or when like someone's cooking and someone's like because usually we tag team a lot of what we do,
Mm,
so it's just we're there's a lot of moving parts, so then we're just having conversation, talking about our day, whatever. So we're just like one's at the stove, one's getting the kid ready for whatever,
gotcha.
and so it's just we're just going, and then by the time she's finally settled, we just don't even sit. We're just still like, all right, I'm just gonna start eating and keep talking to you. So
Oh, jeez.
yeah, weird setup, but
Remind me
you
not to
know.
come over there for dinner and be the only one sitting on the couch by myself eating my food. It's like, I don't want to stand.
Baby will be in the chair. She'll be sitting and eating with you.
Oh man, that is too funny.
Anyways, away from my family's lifestyle.
Listen, I think this is good, right? The people need to know these things.
Right. And honestly, if anyone else's family is similar, or you don't even have to have a whole family, if you're a single person and you're similar, it's a little different if you're single because I don't know why you standing and eating. But if there are other families out there doing the same,
Mm.
I personally would like to know because we literally do it. And then, like, after bedtime, we're like, damn, we really just stood there and ate dinner, huh? I'm like, yep.
God, what a routine thing got going on over there.
Yes.
Oh man.
Anywho,
Yeah.
anywho.
All right. So I think that we solved the great debate here of who gets the plate
Mm-hmm.
when.
Feed
So
your kids first. Unless you got a bunch of them, feed that man.
that is true. So we definitely want to hear you guys if you agree or disagree with that because I know everyone has different things, and I've definitely heard people say
Mm-hmm.
feed the man first. So
A lot of the time, yep.
yes. But I
The
don't know.
biggest baby.
Maybe that is something that they do in more like traditional like households. I don't know how exactly it was done back in the day. I can't really remember if my mom served
I think the man
or
used to get
how.
fed first back in the day. I feel like that was a traditional way. And also too, I'm feeling fairly certain because when you think about like portions,
Mm,
how much they were able to ration out, and the man always got the most amount of food because people had less money and didn't have as much access to food as we do today.
mhm.
So I think it really was the man to be fed first because they also got the most amount of food,
Gotcha.
and then they would just ration out the rest between the woman and the children. So and they used to have a lot of children back in the day. I feel like families used to be pretty
True.
big back then. So there was no way in hell the man was waiting to eat after the sixth child was served. There's no way. No. Somebody was losing a limb.
You stupid. But it's so true. Um,
Right?
man, and I don't know if you've heard, so kind of like on that same token, I don't know if you've ever heard of the term trad wives.
You know damn well I haven't.
Listen, I still gotta ask, right? Because maybe it jogged a little memory that was like back there somewhere.
No, there's no way I have not. I'm just nope.
Okay. Well, there's
Tell us
this
more,
like
Cassie. Tell us
fad
more.
going around now about all these like trad wives, meaning a traditional wife in a household. And I guess it's been really going like viral on like TikTok and things like that, which I don't have a TikTok, so I don't know, but like I've seen on like Instagram or whatever.
Oh my
And it's
gosh.
these girls who are like stay-at-home like wives or and or moms, and
Hmm.
they are just doing everything traditional from like being the one who cooks and cleans and like cares for the kids and like does all this kind of stuff,
Hmm.
but like taking it to the extreme. So like when they're cooking, like they're making everything from scratch, like the bread, the
Jesus.
pasta, the whatever you want to call it. And so they're doing all these like tutorials online, like showing how that they like prepare 24
Oh
hours in
my
advance,
gosh.
like how to like make the bread and like let it rise and like do all of this like very back in the day kind of
Yo.
things.
Can I just interrupt for just a quick moment?
Go for it.
Everybody wants something to feel special. Like, and it's just such a thing of belonging today. Like, everyone needs their birds of feathers to flock together. Like, it literally is like people just want to stand out so bad, and
True.
everything has to have a freaking label. Like, you're a wife. Damn it, you are a wife.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true. Whether you're old school, new
no,
school, whatever the hell.
right? Because it's just like, bruh,
Wife is a wife is a wife.
uh, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it sounds cool when we like label everything. So I don't know what to tell you.
Sounds like an extra piece of work.
It
Fucking.
is a lot of work. If you see some of these videos and like I get exhausted just like sitting there trying to watch and see like what they're doing.
Oh
Um,
my
but I guess
gosh.
there's also like a few of them who, obviously like really enjoy like what they're doing and like, doing all these things. But then there's some of them who are
Mhm.
like getting, completely like tired and exhausted,
Burnt
which is
out.
also very understandable.
From the way it sounds, hell yeah, like making bread.
Yeah, I mean, my dad used to make bread, but you know,
He was no trad wife, so it ain't the same.
he was not. But I can't imagine like making everything from scratch. Like,
No, I'm
just
all
like,
set.
who has time for that? Like,
We're not eating today.
yeah, like, okay, you might be like a stay at home or whatever, but like, I still feel like you don't have time for all of that. Like,
No, and then I'm just curious from what you've seen, have you seen the size of their families?
no, not like anything that I can recall specifically. So I
Mm,
don't know if they have, a lot of kids or one kid or whatever,
right,
which
right,
changes things.
because then are they because then also too kind of makes me think like a trad wife. Um, some wives back in the day also had nannies, so
Mm,
still were doing things around the house, but still also had like a caretaker around. So I was just curious, like, how are
yeah.
they managing all of this? Because this math is not adding up. We all have the same 24 hours in a day,
Hmm.
and I don't understand how
You and me both.
their math is
I
mathing.
don't know. Because look, I am, or at least I like to think that I am a very traditional person. I really do believe in
Okay.
gender roles. I do think that women are responsible for cooking and cleaning and like all of this, and
Hmm.
men are very handymen and all of that kind of stuff. But I also do believe in like a middle ground, like a 50-50, right? So like I cook,
Yeah.
like you wash the dishes, kind of like
Hmm.
a good balance of
Yeah.
things.
Take care of stuff together. Yeah.
Um, so like I'm definitely not like one of these like extreme like trad wives by any
Yeah.
means. If I could,
Cassie trying to join the
I
group.
probably would. Um, but
Oh
I
my
do think it's
gosh.
like a tad extreme. And it's kind of like they don't really talk about like the
That's true.
husbands either. So it's like, are they like make sure you're in that kitchen or are they just kind of like you're doing too much? Like, thank you,
Right.
but
I need the other side of the story too
yeah.
now at this point.
I don't know. I find it very interesting. So, you know me, girl. I had to take this to Reddit, right?
Oh my gosh. What do you have for us today?
So, we're going to have a little Reddit read going on right
Okay.
now. And there's this
Ready?
one thread that I had found called Men Who Want Trad Wives Are Lying. So, naturally, I
Oh,
had to look at this because I was very intrigued
right.
to see what kind of like comments and things like people were making on this topic because I'm telling you that is definitely it's definitely a thing going around, and I bet you now that I'm talking about it,
Hmm.
you're gonna start seeing like these videos and being like,
Of
"What the hell?"
course. Of
Because that's just how it
course.
works, right?
Damn
Google, stop
algorithms.
listening. I know.
I know.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and read some of these. This one is just something that I just thought was, I don't know, worth reading. This one, even though, oh, maybe that's their name. It says deleted, but anyways, it says, "Oh, they want the old fuck maid. Haha. Yeah, everyone wants a trad wife. No one wants a trad husband," which
Mm-mm.
is kind of facts if you really think about
Yeah. I mean,
it.
that's a fact because, like you said, how many of these guys are actually handy today? Because I
Mm,
dead ass remember laughing at videos where, like, people are imitating how their guys can't even like change a tire on a car and the girl has to do it herself.
yeah,
And
that's true.
which I don't think it's bad that a woman knows how to change her tire
No, not
because
at
I'll be
all.
damned to be a damsel in distress. Come on now. But, it's just, it is like traditional. And also, too, like the working man,
Hmm.
stay at home dads are a thing. So,
Yeah,
mm, interesting.
it is
Mm.
interesting. And then this other one, it says, let me get my speaking voice ready.
Okay, speaking voice, we ready for you.
So it says, "This is it. The time we live in, the vast majority of us can't afford to have families on a single wage. I'm sorry, your trad wife fetish can't be satisfied because you get paid peanuts. Level
Oh,
up, get paid.
oh,
When
oh.
you can actually afford to sustain another person on your salary, then talk about tradition. If you want her to cook and clean and wipe your backside while also working, then laughing my ass off, why the fuck is she even with you? Some pathetic men out there, it's not an attack on your masculinity if you do some housework.
Oh, those were some harsh words there. That was not even harsh, it's just strong.
Yeah, very
Someone was
strong.
very passionate behind those keys on that keyboard. Oh my gosh. But it is also a different time that we're in too when it comes
True.
to the looking at pay wages to the cost of living. So,
Hmm.
things like that do make it challenging. I'm not defending anybody, but I'm just saying that is a factor within today's time. So, unfortunately, you kind of got to find somebody who went to like a trade school in high school and got something they know how to do with their hands,
Right.
because literally, if you don't start off like in the adult world off on the right foot,
Hmm.
then it's going to be even harder to get to that salary of being able to maintain a lifestyle of two people.
Yeah, no, it's definitely in this day and age, I feel like it's
Piece of
almost,
work.
yeah. It is
Yeah.
definitely challenging.
Hmm.
But what do you think about that last part where it says it's not an attack on your masculinity if you do some housework, some pathetic men out there?
I feel like she's speaking from a personal experience because it's not that serious, boo boo. Like, my man has no problem. Not saying that she's talking about my man, obviously, but it's
Right.
just like my man has no problem with housework. And honestly, any man that I've dated has never had an issue with housework.
Yeah.
So um I think she may just have come across a few of the wrong ones.
I agree, and I think the same thing because mine doesn't mind either. And again, I
Right.
do, me personally, I feel like it's my responsibility,
Hmm.
but don't let that fool you. I love it when he will help out and do some
Right.
laundry or, whatever. So,
Surprise, surprise, right. Like, go ahead and take up one of my chores I usually take
yeah,
over.
and it definitely doesn't make him any less masculine. If anything, it's more
Oh no.
attractive. So,
Girl, listen. I was gonna say something, but I had to stop myself because
well,
listen,
don't stop yourself, girl. The
she
people want to hear it.
well, I'm gonna say this. She gonna need to find her different men to interact with, because when that man is willingly doing that housework, everybody's gonna be sleeping well that night. And that's all I know.
And you heard it there, guys. But we're just gonna go and carry on here. All
Yeah.
right. So, men who claim to want trad wives only want the control and subservience, whatever that
Hmm.
is. Tell them a
Mm-hmm.
trad wife doesn't work yet, takes care of all the finances, and they suddenly don't seem to like the idea so much.
Hmm.
Tell them a trad wife doesn't work yet and takes care of all the finances. Um,
Oh, like even maintaining the book and physical, essentially.
yeah, but a trad wife isn't the one that takes care of the finances.
Shouldn't be, but I don't know what that person's referring to be quite honest.
Yeah, I don't know either.
We're gonna consider that one a dub. Keep it moving.
Yeah, all right.
uh,
This
sir, delete your comment because nobody knows what you're saying.
and
Ah,
just some dude 0605.
literally.
All right, carrying on. This is from Deleted again, so you know this one's gonna be a little spicy, okay?
Ready.
Um, they are a mess of contradiction. A virgin who screws like a porn star, a woman who does not care about her looks but is stunningly hot, a traditional wife that works. I don't think they know what they want. Y'all, Amanda's face right now.
Oh, what? No,
Make sure you check out that YouTube.
I like literally I felt like I just had the hardest time processing the point they were trying to make.
I don't know either, and I'm looking at it right in front of me.
So I'm
Um,
thinking they're trying to say, so they gave examples of things that don't make sense. And then they're trying to say that these guys want trad wives, but they also want their wife to work. I think that's what she's trying to say. Or he, whoever.
I think so. Something, yeah, because they want someone who screws like a porn star, who doesn't care about
Mm-hmm.
her looks, but is also hot, and
And
then
a virgin.
someone that works, but
is a trad wife.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People just out
Hmm.
here confused.
They are. Again, I feel like this is a lot of like these comments are a lot of people who are just kind of self-projecting a little bit or
Probably.
just speaking from personal experience because this
Oh,
shit.
yeah, because this next one is definitely interesting.
Ooh, yes,
Um,
here.
I feel that men that want to own a woman. They want a mother
Ooh.
they can have sex with, someone to cook,
Ooh.
clean, etc. It's kind of pathetic, really.
Yikes. But not all men's moms cooked and clean.
Yeah, that's true. But
So
to own a woman, like that seems a
I feel it's
little.
extreme.
Come on, Shannon. Like,
Girl.
it's-
Shannon, baby. Was it a bad day? Was it a rough day? Because
uh,
what?
yeah, I don't know. And then someone commented, "Yep, I got into an argument with my coworker about it. They want a woman who will cook, clean, do all the childcare, always be available for sex. But if she expects him to provide, that's too much." So, super hyena is with Shannon here. It looks like.
Yikes. I think again, some people are looking a little too deeply into it, and I feel like there's definitely a stereotype or a stigma or whatever around the whole trad wife thing.
Mm-hmm.
And because a woman can be a traditional wife doesn't mean that all of those things these people believe are applying to that. Because again, a traditional wife is based on the actions, right? But
Mm-hmm.
every relationship is different. So a traditional wife in relationship A is still going to look different than relationship B
Right.
because those are four different people between those two relationships.
Yeah.
And it's just like everyone's just stamping this one idea on a trad wife type of marriage, and that's it. It's just like the men always want sex and this and that, and it's just like some men don't always want sex. Some men
Mhm.
are respectable of their wife and are on the same page as their wife and
Right.
not just in demand of stuff of them all the time. you know um I don't know. That's just there. It just again felt like there's a lot of passion behind them keys and them comments, and
Definitely.
some self inner work can be done. I mean, all of us, right? But I think some need to dig a little deeper.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're sitting here on like I like to read Reddits, but writing on
Yeah,
Reddit,
it's a bit much. It's
yeah,
a bit much.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know.
thank you for providing us some material that we can read, y'all. Because what?
I'm telling you, it's a whole thing going on, and people have all of their varying opinions, and especially with like the way
Yes.
the world is going these days. Because I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
leave it here with this last one that says, um, men are screaming about it because women are slowly realizing that we don't need a man's approval to live our lives, and it drives them nuts. This right there, this right here, just this one right here. Slowly, women are realizing we don't need a man's approval to live our lives. This right here is what is wrong with the world today. And I don't think y'all want me to go on this tangent, but I think you understand what I mean when I just say that that right there is the
It's
problem
what's wrong.
today. That
That's a
just
whole
right
fact.
there.
Whole fact. God damn, Cassie just summed up all that shit. And that just that alone. Wow.
Yes.
Y'all go ahead and drop some feedback on, what you think a trad wife is and really what standards does that hold in a relationship. Um, are we crazy, on some of our responses to these comments, or are
Maybe.
y'all right here with us? Because we need to know. Obviously, people think differently than we do, so we got to hear from y'all
Mm-hmm.
first and
Definitely.
foremost. But yeah, a lot in today's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to tune in every single week because your girls are here. But until next time.
Bye, guys.